first off, we need to calculate the point that ends up going to the near plane, and from here we can use the idea of similar triangles to calculate where this point is. So first off, let's label this D, and let's label this height, but the height is always 1 because in OpenGL it's normalized to 1. So we can calculate this using tangent. So 1 over D is equal to tan theta. And then you could end up calculating this. So D is equal to 1 over tan, and then theta. I forgot to put divided by 2. Divided by 2. So you end up calculating for D, and you end up getting this value in this ratio. And now based on this ratio, we're going to be able to calculate this vertice right here. So as it ends up projecting, you see it ends up giving a triangle. And this is the point we want to see on the near plane or our screen or monitor. And the way you end up calculating this is this point is relative to the distance. So the distance could be like our x, and then the y is the end of yp, for instance. So yp is a y value we end up giving this point. And then now we're going to end up having to calculate what's going along this plane here. So the way we end up doing this is using the idea of similar triangles to actually get this height. So this point here is going to be labeled using its y. Let's just label this y and then z and z-axis. So that's the ratio that we end up getting on this triangle, y over z. And using the idea of similar triangles, we can use the distance and the yp we got. So now we say yp over distance is equal to the regular y over z. It's the d instead of a p. So now you can end up calculating for yp. So you multiply by d, cancel out, multiply here. And now we already have solved for d over here. So now this ends up going over to yp is equal to y over z times 1 over tan theta divided by 2, and that ends up being your FOV that ends up getting projected. So that's how you could end up calculating how this vertice ends up projecting into the near plane, or which is your monitor, and end up calculating from there. But yeah, that's basically what I've been learning so far and how the mathematics works. So I really want to get a deeper dive into how it works. So I like learning more of the mathematics rather than just being given some function that tells you it does this. But yeah, that was basically day 35. And